Hi, this is Eric Anzalone. Welcome to The Vibe, where we spend a little time chilling with and getting to know featured artists you'll hear on Chakra Radio. To describe my guest today as simply a jazz guitarist would be, well, an understatement. He's an actor, a singer, a voiceover artist. He's written and recorded jingles. He gigs regularly as part of Gene Cornish's Guitar Club for Men. Gene, of course, the guitarist from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame group, the Rascals. And he collaborates with another noted jazz guitarist, Lou Volpe, who's also part of Guitar Club. I'm talking about none other than Jono Frola. Welcome, Jono.
Well, how you doing? Glad to be here with you.
Good. Glad to have you. So first, now clearly, having listened to your music and knowing the company you keep from Gene to Lou, you are a definitive musician. But if someone asks you what you do, I mean, how do you answer that? You do so much. Guitar, singer, songwriter, actor, voiceovers. How do you answer that?
Definitely singer, guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do some solo stuff. So I do anything from originals to covers to, new arrangements. But that's my real passion, is singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of fun with the group. You know, we get to throw all different things at people.
Yeah.
So it's, we keep it our own. We do that, and it's got a unique sound.
Right. Now, the group, so obviously, you work with Gene and the Guitar Club, but now you and Lou do your own thing too as well? Do you have a name for the group?
It was always just Jono Frola and Lou Volpe.
Okay.
That's all. We went under our own names.
Mm-hmm.
We had a trio originally with Manola Badina from Weather Report, and we've used Gary Fritz on percussion. Mm-hmm. Percussion's very big in the music I do. It just fills the part. When you're playing a small room and you don't want to use a set of drums,
right?
Percussion's ideal. And we play with some very good bass players. Matoki, a few other guys.
Yeah.
And they're all, Lou's a genius, so it's very easy to work with him.
Yeah.
And, and anything I can't do on guitar, he can.
That's fabulous.
So.
Very cool. Now, after listening to Misty Roses, which is great CD, your vocals and your phrasing, they reminded me a lot of very Randy Newman-esque, which is interesting. You actually cover one of his great tracks, Marie, on the CD. Yeah. What would you say your influences are as far as guitar and composition?
Well, truthfully, I mean, as a kid, Elvis was an impact on everyone. Mm-hmm. Let's put it this way. But it's funny, I've always listened to female singers for some reason. That seems to be an instrument to me. Sarah Vaughan was one of the, I would listen for hours to Sarah Vaughan, and still do have some of her CDs. That, for instance, Brazilian Romance is just a wonderful CD.
Right.
But Kenny Rankin, who was a friend of mine, rest in peace, he has that unique kind of phrasing. And so listening to him and then going all the way to the other extreme of Colin Blunstone, the Everly Brothers.
Right.
It's not just one vision.
Yeah, of course.
When I do a song, I've heard backup singers do a phrasing, and I've changed my phrasing.
Yeah.
I just liked what they did. It was so nice. And it's the way you feel about the song, how you're playing it. And, every time you play it, you basically can start building and coloring it.
Mm-hmm.
And the feel then all of a sudden gets deeper and deeper.
Well, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Were you a singer and then became a guitar player, or the other way around?
Actually, yeah, I sang in a band. I was a front man when I was very young, and my brother played guitar. I picked up guitar. We took lessons, but basically self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I play my Guild, my acoustic, Big F50, because it sounds like a church organ. It's so big. That's my main guitar. You know, on stage I use an electric guitar, but
yeah, your Guild, that's on the cover of Misty Roses. That's what you're sitting there with.
No, that's the Gretsch.
Oh, that's your Gretsch? Okay.
Yeah, that's a prototype for Gretsch.
Jono worked for the Richard Brown Agency, which is a subsidiary of Ogilvy and Mather. Huge ad agency. How did you fall into doing jingles, and is that something that's easy to you? I mean, as a songwriter, because they're not that easy to do.
No, I'll be honest with you. What happened was another band I was in a long time ago called Shady Side. We used to play all over Manhattan, and one of the other guitar players was a partner in a club, so we did music there, and we played there constantly. And Richard Brown was a very good customer there, and he listened a couple of times, and then he approached us and he said, you know, why don't you think about jingles, make some money, because he liked the fact I was changing my voice at that time a lot to what they wanted. You know, you want a dance voice, you want a soft, mellow voice.
Yeah, give the people what they want. Yeah.
Right, and he suggested it, and basically listened to a lot of our original tunes, and he thought they were real. You know, they had that thing, that hook in him, and that's how it started. And then I met Steve Usher, who was up on Broadway at the time with Cats, and he's another musical genius. He teaches now. He's in the college down in Florida, in Fort Myers, and it's basically just getting into the catchphrases. Gene's very big with that. Gene Cornish. He's got that knack of putting down a phrase that's really, it gets in your ear and you can't get it out.
Yeah, I know. How can I be sure?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we recorded a song recently. We haven't released anything from that session. We did a song called Temptation, which I've been doing for a while. Elvis Costello.
Yeah,
I believe wrote it. Diana Krall sang it, a bunch. But I was playing it at one of my jazz gigs, and Gene, was there to see us, and he loved the song, and then we rocked it up, and it became, there's lines in that we can't do the song without doing, bass runs and things, and that's the way it happens. It's just,
gotcha.
It's all from inside, You know when you're there.
Yeah. Speaking of that, now let's get to your the CD Misty Roses, which is a great compilation of originals. I love the groove of the title track. It's a song that's actually played quite a bit here on Chakra, and your guitar fills on Dazed are awesome. They just drive the song along. It's really great. And I mentioned the covers like Randy Newman's Marie, and I really dig what you did with George Harrison's While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Now, because of the advent of digital media, even a CD where people can skip around at will, putting together a release is not what it used to be, where a lot of thought went into order of songs, packaging, creating a through line. But now, is there any specific process when you put together a CD? Are you trying to create a certain mood or take the listener on a journey, or is it sort of random?
Well, it's not really random, because sometimes you run into, you do a recording and it sounds great in the headphones, and then you listen the next day. It's sort of like what at night may be scenic, in the light may be cynic. If you didn't catch the mood. I've done recordings like that to where it just didn't pan. They went up on the shelf. Misty Roses, one thing unique about the CD, and most of the guitars are also done by Lenny Arghezi, who passed away. Okay. And him and his brother Louis Arghezi were basically musical geniuses. They were around forever. They're both not with us anymore, nor is the drummer percussionist Armin Helborian, just passed away maybe 6 months ago. They were all such a big influence. I went in with the songs into the studio. We had played them live, but then we totally reinvented the wheel, and just tore them apart and
You
put
did.
it back together.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, it's a process. I don't have a home studio. I've tried it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel right. You know,
Yeah.
going to a studio puts you more into that frame of mind.
Sure does. Yeah.
You know, a home studio is great for rehearsing and all that.
Yeah.
As far as recording, I don't think it's as good.
What's next, or what's coming up for you?
Well, me and Gene are still knocking things around, doing some new songs. We actually we played in the Village last week in a place called the Red Lion, and we threw in, never rehearsed or anything, Heartbreak Hotel.
Cool.
Which went over really good. And then a good friend of ours, Jimmy McKelly, got up and sang "You Got It" by Roy Orbison. So we're having some fun. March 2nd, we're in CB Kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
which is in New City, New York.
Okay.
And then on April 1st, we're in the Town Crier in Pauling, New York.
Yeah. Is there a website where people can find the dates where you, Gene, and the boys are playing?
You know, what's funny is nowadays Facebook seems to be the media that
Okay.
everybody goes to.
Right.
Gene Cornish, Guitar Club for Men. We
On
have
Facebook.
a website of
Right.
that on Facebook. I have my own, Jono Frola. Or you can go on my the
your website.
JonoFrola.com site,
Right.
and that'll pretty much give you the dates. The Facebook's fun because there's a lot of.
Sure.
We're doing some funny advertising right now with posters,
Okay.
and a lot of it is honeymooners themed. So
Oh, Ralph and Alice. Gotta love it.
that's yeah,
To the moon. Awesome.
that's right.
Okay, well, for anyone out there who's interested in listening to Jono and his music too, you can get Misty Roses at cdbaby.com, amazon.com. Where else, Jono?
iTunes.
iTunes, right? Okay.
Yeah, Rhapsody, I believe, has it.
Okay.
There's a whole list of them.
Yeah.
And it was also, there's a link to Jazz's magazine because I was featured in there for about 6 months,
Cool.
which was nice.
All right, and then they can get to that through your website, right? Jono Frola,
Yes,
Frola.com. Okay. Jono, I want to thank you for today. This was great talking to you.
Thank you. It was wonderful speaking to you.
Great. So all the best to you. And as for me, all you out there in Cyberland, stop by my personal page here at Chakra Radio, where you can listen to my monthly Bodhi blogs as well as interviews of other artists featured here on Chakra. So until next time, this is Eric Anzalone reminding you, don't just listen to the music, make your own.